Now, you know, when reading the title of this video, one might think I'm pessimistic, but in reality, I'm actually, realistic about the prospects of a situation. I know when there's a dire situation, and I know when there's a situation that just can't be saved. And I want to talk about the Steam box and my opinion on the Steam box and where that's going. You know, when they first announced the Steam box as a home setup box console, it's a setup box. I don't care what anyone fucking says. I don't really necessarily consider that a console, you know. But they traded it off as a console. You know, it's going to run Steam OS. You're going to be able to play PC games from your living room. You know, you're gonna you're gonna have this new awesome controller. You know, and when I saw the Steam box, I was kind of confused. Like, oh wow, Valve's releasing a console. And then I was like, wait, why are there all these other consoles? And that's the problem with Steambox. You know, all Valve has done is just taken a bunch of small piece. All Valve has done is just like downside had manufacturers downsize PCs, gaming PCs into small boxes, giving them HDMI outs and a controller ports, and called it a console. Excuse me. And to me, that's not a console. That goes against what a console is. First of all, as a console gamer, you do not want to have to look through the different specs of each different one and price check all these consoles. It's like, oh, it's still a Steam box, but this one has this amount of RAM, this one has a GTX 970, GTX 980, GTX 960M, and you got to check all those chips, and that's not what the console gamer wants. The console gamer wants a unified platform. I don't understand how the hell you don't understand this. You can't you you can't do that with consoles. You can't have completely different um specs for the same console you call a Steam box. It's not the same console. It's just a bunch of fucking setup boxes you call Steam box. Now, if Valve had made their own console, you know, it's running Steam OS, and maybe they got Asus to make one. They got uh, Falcon Northwest, Velocity Micro, Alienware to make them for them. But they were all they all had the same exact internal specs. Or actually, it would be better if Valve just made them themselves, so there's no disparity between brands. But yeah, that'd be better. If Valve just made the console themselves, so there's no disparity between has the consumer wanting like, oh, there's a Velocity Micro and there's an Alienware. Which one should I buy? Have it just called the Valve Steam Box. This is not difficult. That's all you had to do, Valve, and you couldn't even do that. You made this shit way too fucking complicated. Oh, I want to bring the PC into the living room. No. You want to replace the console by making an anti-console. No, no, that's not gonna work. We've learned that from Sega in particular, and one or two instances from Nintendo, how upgrading or differentiating hardware a, the same console's life was pissed a lot of people off and discouraged the gamer. And I'm talking about Sega with its I can't remember what it was, either the Genesis or that fucking Saturn. They bought like one peripheral to increase power of the console. Failed. Then they brought out the CD tray for it. Failed. Then Nintendo is doing it with the new 3DS. Some old games don't work on it, and it's pissed people off who have the old 3DS and don't want to upgrade, man. To me, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. You have to be unified across the board. And I would say the advantage, I would say one advantage that Microsoft has is they can stay unified but use the cloud to help improve graphics and physics. That is the advantage of having the fucking cloud with you. Um, and then there's the controller. You know, you try to do too much with the controller. It does not. I looked at the controller, and anytime you have a touchpad for on a gamepad, that not I'm not talking about Sony's center touchpad that actually has function too, but a touchpad for use changing an axis, so X and Y, so looking around and shit. Anytime you have that, it it has accuracy problems and is overly sensitive, and it doesn't work out. And that's my problem. That's another problem I have with the controller. So, will the Steam box work out? I no, no, hell no. And even and another thing that's not going Steam Box's way is the performance between Windows 10 and Steam Box. Windows 10, just running the game on Windows 10, there's you're getting significant better significant better FPS on every fucking game, including Source Engine games, which to me is it just has me scratching my head. Why wouldn't you optimize the games? I just don't know sometimes what some of these companies are thinking, where they can just come in and change shit completely. But tell me what you guys think in the comments about this. It'd be really good to hear comments, and have a good time, guys.